Hey, it's Gavin with Acoustic Designs. We're here at Jacob Biz Morris's house. He is a Grammy Award-winning mix engineer and also one of my best friends. So I don't think it's strange that I just walked into the back of his house. He's got a garden here. I think I'll probably pick out a tomato to eat. Let's see.
Hey, yo, my kids are gonna be mad about that. It's their tomatoes. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man.
What's up?
All right, show me a studio.
This is it, come on.
All right, so we're here in Biz's studio. It's good to see you, man.
What's up, man?
Yeah, it's fun to be in the space that we've worked a while designing for you, and then you built it, and it's finally here.
It's finally done.
And we've done a lot of studio tours that you've been involved with, like the Crowder one and the Tory one,
yeah.
And now it's your personal studio, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, I remember calling you and saying it's time.
Yeah.
We talked about maybe doing it for a while. This has been a dream, and to actually have it done and mixing records in here is crazy.
Such a cool place, man. I know that we helped design it the whole way through, but I have never stepped foot in here.
Yeah.
And you sent pictures and they look awesome. However, it's even cooler in person.
Man, it's awesome. It's definitely a risky move to do white with 3 kids.
Yeah.
I am pretty stressed when they come in, especially if they just got done eating and they want to touch stuff. But
your kids are great though.
Yeah, doesn't mean they won't make it dirty, but
that's true.
I think white was the way to go, especially with the natural light and the wood. It just makes it feel really, really nice.
Yeah, it's like clean and open and airy, and the natural light plays well in here. And then all the LEDs that you added in here, you can change the color of the room and change the vibe pretty easily.
Yeah. I wanted a lot of windows. I wanted to say, I don't want to have to use my lights. I want natural light.
Yeah.
That's way different than studios have. And I want to be able to look out in the backyard and see the kids play.
Yeah.
And so,
remember early on, before we got to the rendering stage, we were just building this place in SketchUp and kind of showing you different options for how the windows could go. And we ended up with like kind of a staggered approach. We had some different ones that we tried out, but I really like this where the windows get increasingly taller as you get towards the back of the room, and just feels like I had not been in the space until today, and it just was really comfortable. Like you could spend all day in here and not feel like you're grinding it out in the studio and with no windows.
And something I do too is when I'm mixing sometimes and the weather's nice, I open up both doors.
Yep.
My kids can play. And I remember the first time I was mixing a record, the weather was nice. My wife brought a blanket out and they were eating dinner like on the off the studio doors while I was working.
Man.
And it was just like, oh, this is why I did this.
Yeah. I bet it's really great to, I've known you for a long time and your wife and your kids and things like that, but just to see how this space has been integrated into your house and how, they've come in a few times while we've been filming. And
I have a button, I put it away for the video, but I have a button that I can press and it'll turn a light green and just tells the kids like, hey, your guys can come in the studio whenever you want. I'm not busy. Or I press it and it's red and they know like I'm either in a session or I'm on a call or doing something, but
Oh, that's nice. You'd been talking to me for years about, man, I'd love to have a place in my house, preferably in the backyard somewhere that I could just like step out there and do mixes, or, I know that you get calls sometimes at 10 o'clock at night, like, can you make this change on a mix? And rather than going all the way to Reach to do that, you can step in your backyard and do it. Yeah,
one of the dreams was to do that so I can be home with the family. And as you guys been here all morning and all day, you've noticed my kids will just come over and peek through the window or walk inside. And so, that's one reason why I wanted to do it and to be home more, and it's definitely paid off. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't want to, it's really hard for them to have the work-life balance, and I get it. Like, I get it. If anyone gets it, I get it, because I enjoy like music and mixing and all things audio as my hobby, but also as my career.
Yeah.
So when I'm thinking about putting a studio in my house, I'm glad that I decided to do it in my backyard rather than attached to my house or somewhere in my house. Because if I'm sitting on my couch and Lecrae texts me like, "Yo, can you do this?" I'm like, do I really want to walk in the back, or do I just want to hang with my wife?
Yeah.
So it makes me think like I still have to make an effort to come out here to do it. So, but it is nice. It's 10 feet from my back door.
When you started this process, is this what you thought it was going to turn out to be?
Well, I don't think that I had an idea. Right where we're sitting, there used to be, because we had our whole backyard designed, and they'll probably see it on the video, but there was no real place to put it. So we were going to do an addition to the house. We didn't really know what we were going to do, but we had to take down a 42-inch water oak that was like 75 feet tall. It was crazy. And the day it came down, I think it was the day that I called you and said,
that's the spot.
This is the spot.
Yeah, because we were talking about adding on off of the kitchen and doing that whole thing, but then there was certain limitations on what you could build and building code wise. And when that tree came down, it was just kind of made an opening for you.
Yeah, I remember coming with a tape measure and being like, what about this size? What size can we do? And for you to come up with these plans and say this would be perfect, it really would. And then seeing the render, the rendering was just like,
that was actually, with the rendering, that was Tracy's first attempt at rendering, because Oscar was always doing them, and Tracy did the first rendering for this one, and that was like super fulfilling for her when it's like she did the rendering, and then when we got the final photos of this place, and it looked almost exactly like the rendering.
Yep, it's awesome.
So with this space, you're just using it for mixing, right? You're not.
Yeah. If we need like a voiceover or recording or so, we can use it for whatever. This is kind of my personal at-home space. Do artists come in sometimes, like if they're really close friends of the family, but I kind of keep it protected.
I know when we first started talking about this, isolation wasn't like a super big concern. We did a little bit on the structure that was done, and we did some laminated glass on these windows, but you're not mixing at crazy levels, and your neighbors are decent.
Yeah, we just did a volume test just because you haven't been here, so I cranked it probably louder than what I would do mixing, and we walked around the property, and
it's not going to disturb anybody, so that's great. So you actually found a company that could build these types of spaces, because I think they do it for, backyard offices and different things like that. And we were able to get them to do a sloped ceiling.
Yep, because you remember the plan was having a sloped, and you're like, well, can they do this different slope?
Yeah, because I think it was sloped side to side originally, and then we had it so it was shorter in the front. So our main focus was really helping with the interior treatment of the space, and making sure that we made this as accurate as possible for your mixes to be able to translate well. So, a lot of that was done in conjunction with Wood and Wire Works, did the stretch fabric system, which was provided by Fabric Wall.
Man, Fabric Wall came through, saved the day. I never thought that we could do stretch fabric, and when it was an option, oh man. I'm so glad that we did it, because if you look at all the stuff, I mean, Forrest did a great job. But using their system just paid off, man. It was really good.
We love working with them. So, and we got some vertical base trapping in the vertical corners in the front and the back of the room. Soffit base traps, which we always do in our rooms, going around the sides.
Why is that?
That is because it helps with tangential modes in the room. So it's something where vertical traps help with certain tangential modes, but horizontal traps and where the wall and the ceiling meet help with other issues with the room. And it's a space that you're not even like using. You might as well have it work for you acoustically. Obviously here, this front wall that then extends into the ceiling cloud is all, base trapping and broadband absorption that's going on, but also gives us the ability to put in some recessed lights and have some working lights, but without cutting holes into the drywall. And
there's mounting points too for speakers for Atmos. So right behind all this comes off. Tanner from Birch and Bolt did all the woodwork here, and
beautiful.
So he made this in a way that when we're ready to do Atmos, this can pop off. Mounting points can be put in, power can be put in. So
and that was a consideration early on. You're doing so much Atmos work now, to be able to do that from home as well. You didn't want to do it right away, but have the ability to do that, and so you can see, plates around the room at the place where the sides and the rears and the height channels are going to go. So when you do make that jump, then it's easy to do. We also have on the ceiling here some diffusers, barrel diffusers.
These are new.
Yeah, from Acoustical Fulfillment. And I love the way it's been trimmed out too. Tanner did that as well, and just makes them just look really, really nice and clean and blend in with the rest of the room rather than just placing them up there by themselves.
one cool thing that we did when we built it was we wired everything for Atmos.
Yes.
My other studio has Atmos.
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted to do Atmos in here. And so everything is wired for Atmos, ready to go.
Yeah.
Which Jumper's cable company provided all the cables for it. And
That's
like
awesome.
they're awesome. High quality stuff.
Yeah.
I knew that's the main thing that I wanted was I wasn't going to go halfway on stuff. It's like I'm gonna mix records in here, and so
yeah. And cable management's really cool how it got handled in here. Like some of the around the baseboard here, we've got
all the
wires
channels,
run to the various speaker locations.
Yeah, I hate cables. I hate seeing cables. If you look, like I do my best to hide cables, and there's tons of cables going on. So you have some hidden tracks for all the cables, but yeah, I knew that we wanted to do Atmos, and I didn't want to see cables. So the only way to do that is plan for it. Everything was thought out, and that was thanks to you guys.
Yeah,
the plan showed everything where cables need to run, where conduit need to run, like where power needs to run.
Yep.
There's way more power than I think that I need.
Future proof.
Yeah.
So tell me about these. These are just like leaning up against the wall over here.
Yeah, man, you know, for years I would always get Plaques. I would have nowhere to put them. At my other office, there's more Plaques. Under my bed, there's Plaques. There's just Plaques everywhere. And so when we were building the studio and we were working on this, because if you look behind here, on both sides, there's the electrical box. And so I was like, well, what if we build like a little section where we can put Plaques?
Yeah.
But not all Plaques look good in there because they're all different sizes.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the gold record for coming hot, but this is the platinum record for coming hot.
Yeah.
This just came in not too long ago, but it's smaller. I don't know if I
don't know if it could fully cover it.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll cover it. That's the issue. This one is this is Lecrae. All I Need Is You, single that he did. This is David Kushner, platinum.
That's a big one.
For Daylight. Yeah, I think now it's like I think this is outdated. I haven't got a new one yet, so that one's doing well, I guess. So yeah, but since I liked it in this record, I mean, this design's so awesome.
Yeah.
And I like the look of it, and
it was in the renderings.
It was in the rendering exactly like this. I remember sending you photos, so I think it's fitting to leave that in there. I couldn't find anything else. But my kids love art. Yeah. And so I went and found a picture frame and had them do a couple art pieces.
I love it.
And we could switch it out.
Well, and
we can add more art or.
Yeah. And what's beautiful about that is that it's literally why this studio was built, was so that you could be closer to family, and to have that in here along with the excellent work you do. Like, that's the reason you do it.
Excellent work.
Yeah.
Excellent work.
Yep.
Yeah. They're the reasons why I do it.
And speaking of excellent work. Yeah. There's something behind me here that I want you to. I know that you're not big about talking about things like this. Like, you don't even tell people that you've won Grammys, but this is pretty awesome. Yeah, this came in this year. This is for Church Clothes Floor, which is from Lecrae. Shout out to the Lecrae and the team. But yeah, this came in, and I think it looks good on the desk. Again, I have nowhere to put this stuff. Yeah. My wife is like, you're not going to put this on the mantle. What are you going to do? When friends come over and be like, this is my Grammy. Yeah. That's totally not me. No. So I just leave it right here with fingerprints. My girls come in and, is this real gold? I'm like, yeah, it's real gold. But yeah, it's awesome. I leave it right there. Sometimes I take it to the other office if we're filming stuff. Big accomplishment. Sometimes I walk around the city. Just get a chain made. No, that would not, that's totally not my personality, but yeah. You know, we've worked together on a lot of different projects, and you do a lot of gear specification and integration for those things. And so for this setup, I know that you're doing mostly mixing, so it's a little bit more minimal, but what were some of the choices that you went with? Well, I knew that for outboard gear stuff, like sometimes I'll recut vocals through gear if I'm mixing or stereo bus stuff, but I have another studio that has gear, so I don't need that here. I can always remote in and do it, or if I'm there, I know that. Yeah. So I didn't need a whole bunch of stuff here, but I can always add it. Yeah. I mean, this is honestly, we haven't done a studio tour of a place like this because most of them are within someone's house in a basement or a commercial facility or different things like that. So at least I know, like, walking in here, I think a lot of people are going to see this and want to do something similar in their place. Yeah, that's awesome. One thing that I did different in here than I do in other spaces, David's actually was like this, but I really love home automation. I don't do much in my house. I have a couple, I mean, here is crazy. Yeah. From when you walk into the gate until you come to the studio, everything's automated. So
if you walk in this gate at a certain time, all the lights turn on. If I hit the lock at a certain time, everything closes, lights go off, alarm set, camera kicks on. I love home automation stuff. So I'll start from the networking side. This is Ubiquiti. I got my switch. I got hard drives. I got universal audio for plugins. All my smart home stuff for the house and for the studios here. I got M2 Mac Studio. And then one of my favorite pieces, I said I would never have a studio without one of these, is the Trinov. And this is their new Nova that they came out with, which is this is Dante right now that I'm running. So you can run an analog. I'm running a Dante. Yeah. I got it when they first dropped it. And so
we're big fans of Trinov.
Yeah, man. I have them in every room that I go in any room that we work on together. Is 100% going to be, there's going to be a Trinov in there. So I probably have been a proud purchaser of like 10 Trinovs. Yeah. It's been great.
No, it's great. It makes all the difference in the world. Like this room's really well treated and it sounds great, but you can always use some additional help.
Yeah. Even just like phasing stuff. Yeah. Make everything hit the center right. Yeah. So right here, I have the new Focal Trio 6s. I had them painted white just because I like white. It's a white studio. Also got their sub 12. I haven't painted that white mainly because that thing is really heavy, and to move that to go to the paint shop to get it painted, oh man, it's not easy. Super minimal. I like my clarity meter. It's really really nice to be able to see stuff. The desk is from Josh Grantham from Grantham's Woodworks. I saw a couple online that were small, and I love when I'm not mixing, I'm normally standing, and so this is a sit and stand desk, and everything could just happen if I'm standing. If I'm recalling something, I don't have to use my ears, or just setting up something for prints or whatever. I can just stand.
It's great.
It's great. Monitor controller, Trinov Nova. Yeah. Lifesaver. You can program it to do anything you want. Main thing. Camera. I got you on camera. Don't try to come to my house. Don't try to come to my house.
Well, I just broke in through the gate.
But I knew you were here and I met you at the door. Because I saw you pull up.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All right. No, I got cameras on every angle and alarm set and machine guns ready to go.
Machine guns.
Machine gun Kelly.
So what's it like working in here? Like, how's it sound and how's the final product going?
Oh man, I think I called you or I called Josh from Focal a couple months ago, and I was like, man, I'm not landing mixes. I'm not landing them. I'm just not like I have another studio. I'm like, mix one goes out, the client loves it. Here, I'm just not landing on what's going on. And what I realized was I was mixing, because I'm just in here vibing and enjoying it, I'm not closing the curtains.
No, right.
I'm mixing with these curtains open. Yeah. And sound is bouncing off, but I'm not realizing when I'm like mixing. Yeah. Anyways, so since I figured out that I was an idiot and wasn't mixing properly in here, mixes have been turning out great. Yeah. I enjoy mixing. I love having my vocals back. Yeah, there's nothing that I would change. If I had to rebuild this again, I think I'd build it a little bit bigger. Yeah. But that's like, and maybe not, I don't know. But yeah. I think a little bit bigger, just wider, just to fit different furniture. Sure. Furniture is kind of hard to fit in here, but yeah, it's great.
I know we were kind of working within, like trying not to take up too much of the backyard, but then make it big enough to sound good as well. Yeah. I think that the slope ceiling helps a ton just to get more volume in the room. And, you mentioned the glass doors on the back. That was kind of a compromise, it's just like, hey, usually we would put bass trapping, diffusion on that back wall, but at the same time, it's like it needs to function for your life. Yep. and all those things you just mentioned.
Yeah, so I wanted to walk out to the patio area. And so, yeah, there was things that had to be done. Yeah. And we love it, man. My wife helped pick the wood color and like the white. Tanner came over and like laid out all these wood options. The flooring's like, yep. What do you want to do? I'm like, whatever you want to do, babe. Chairs, pick them. Rug, pick them. Yeah. I just know I want natural light, and so yeah, we did that. One cool thing that you sent over when we saw the design, I was like, but where's the AC? Yeah. How's the AC gonna work? And they have these ceiling cassettes, and different companies have them. This is Mitsubishi, yeah. And so I have the ceiling cassette built in.
Into the bass trap, yeah.
Bass trap.
We've done this in a few different designs, like for Lewis Bell and Josh Dunn, and now you.
Yeah.
It's great because these are those ceiling cassette versions, which for isolation reasons, you don't want to just poke that through the drywall because it creates a weak point. But this being built into the bass trap, and you have easy access to be able to get to it if you ever had to service it for some reason. So
yeah, man,
great to have that right in the back of the room, so it's not at your mix position, like interfering with your frequency response.
Yeah.
So now that you have this studio, what's next for you, man? What have you been working on, or obviously you're in demand right now. You got a lot of projects going on.
Yeah. There's a lot of projects going on right now. We're just trying to get the server to communication back and forth. So this matches everything in my other studio, so I can truly walk in and just open up a session. But what's next for me? I don't know. Tons of records coming out. Tons of records being sent in for mixing. I got a country album that I'm working on with an artist that's really fun. So yeah, I don't. What's next for me? Family, work.
I tell people all the time with my business too, is like every time I try to predict something, I'm always wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be something else.
I always think like, is this my last year mixing? Because I don't see this going. Like, there's no way. It's too good to be true. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I think the Lord blesses those who are faithful, and I think I'm offering the best I can, and He keeps providing. I always find a way to be challenged, and so I'm in that season of life of like, work-wise, I'm trying to be. Sometimes I get bored mixing, and so when I get a challenge like this country album, I don't mix country. I mix like pop and hip hop.
Yeah.
And I do like Kushner, which is not. I mean, he has a lot of live stuff, so I mean, it doesn't scare me, but it's definitely a challenge, especially when you have some really good country stuff coming out right now.
Yeah, it's really cool that we've known each other for so long, but just to see like where you were when I first met you, and then like you're doing like just bigger and better things every single year, and it's a testament to who you are and like how you work with people, how you make them feel as you're being creative with them. So I'm just excited for the success you've had, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I definitely can't do it without my team. Connor, Zach, Lance, Get Mixed, like they are crushing it with me. So
yeah,
the team, I'm only as strong as the team is.
Well, thanks so much for allowing us to come over. It sounds strange because I'm your friend, so I could probably come over anytime, but allowing cameras in here. And it's just been a pleasure to work with you on this, build this thing together, and just wish you all the best. And
thank you, bro.
In this project and things to come.
Man, shout out to you, shout out to your team, shout out to you guys doing this and taking this on. I hope that this helps inspire people to do this themselves in their backyards. They know who to call. And you guys will take care of them. But yeah, man, thank you for all the hours that you guys put in. My family wouldn't be the same.
Thanks, man.
Hey, man.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, bro.
I'm with my friend Biz. Good to see you, man.
What up, dog?
Whoa.
Like that? You like that?
I do like that. It's a little aggressive. That's all right. It's cool to be in your studio, man.
Can we do it over again?
Yeah.
Because I growled and that's just weird.